Aloha, my friend. This is Billy Wiggly coming at you live from the Ninth Island, Las Vegas, Nevada. How you doing today? Are you staying positive? Remember, live aloha. Focus on the positives. Let all those negatives slide on by. There's a whole lot of them. Let them go. So how you doing today? Now that we've established you're feeling positive and you live in aloha. And what are we going to do today? We're going to continue on with the ExcelFormulaBot. Check it out. It's pretty cool. If you were with me yesterday, or you already watched yesterday's live stream, you saw me using the ExcelFormulaBot. And we went ahead and we tried it out. You get to try it out for free 5 times. Use it 5 times. So we used the ExcelFormulaBot to have it create some formulas for it, right? We went ahead and we asked it what it is that we wanted to answer for us. And then it generates a formula for us. It's like it did right here. And the thing that we worked on yesterday, I set up a spreadsheet and we did a basic, calculate a basic formula, and it did it right. It did it right. Then we said, hey, let's do a little bit more complex. We went ahead and we did a calculation with a couple different criteria. We had to calculate proprietary products at 17%, third-party products at 11%, and get the total commission. So it wrote a formula for us that worked. And it wrote this formula for us. It didn't have the anchors in it. When I think that had to do with the way that I asked the question in the AI, and also it had to do with the way that the spreadsheet is set up. That's why in the 7 steps to Excel success, one of the steps is design. That's actually one of the very first steps. Decide what it is we're going to build. And then when we build, we begin to build plainly. And we got to understand that, sometimes the way that we set up our spreadsheet really is going to affect the calculations down below. So I didn't take this part into consideration when I was asking the question. But regardless, we still got an answer. And then we just had to add the anchors so that we could copy that answer all the way on down in there of the range. Then we get asked a lot of times about VLOOKUPs. Anytime you've been using Excel, at some point you're going to run into VLOOKUP. I mean, there's something that I prefer now. It's called the XLOOKUP. But we're still working on the VLOOKUP because not everybody has the latest version of Excel. And it gave us a VLOOKUP. I asked it, hey, let me know what is the formula that's going to look up employee name based on employee ID. That's a VLOOKUP. And it produced a VLOOKUP for us. No problem. We also asked it to do a combined text, do a concatenation with a proper. I said, hey, let's go right ahead and let's combine this text, these 3 values right here, and then capitalize it. And it came up with a formula similar to this one, except it didn't use text join. I believe they did a hook together. Here we go. This is what it did, which basically was the same thing, except I used 2 different functions. I used the text join function and the proper. So, you can write a formula and a colleague of yours can write a formula. You get the same answer and you both wrote the formula a little bit different. As long as we get the right answer, we're fine. And we just keep improving. Today, we're going to do a little something different. Today, I'm actually going to sign up for the ExcelFormulaBot so that we can see how the payment process is. And I'm also going to use my coupon code. Use the links that are, if you're watching this on LinkedIn, right up above in the description. You're watching this on YouTube, right down below. In the description, you're going to find the links. You're watching this on Facebook. The links are up above in the description. You're watching this on Twitch. The links are over here on the side. And by the way, remember, you're watching this on YouTube, like and subscribe. You might want to turn that little bell on so you get notified every time I start a live stream. I usually start the live stream and let it run for about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. So it gives you time to get your notifications and come on down and get yourself some skills, because that's what we do. Don't get mad, get skills. So today we're going to go right ahead and we're going to try it out for real. We're going to log in. Check it out. We log in. And when we log in, because I opened an account yesterday, here's our dashboard. And we're going to go over the formula generator. We're going to do one more formula. And then we're going to ask it to explain to us formulas. We're going to put in the formula. And it's going to translate it for us like this one. We put in, oh, that's regex. Well, we're going to be able to put in we're going to go to formulas right here. We're going to say Excel, and we're going to say, why don't you explain? And we're going to have it explain a formula for us. We're going to put a formula in there and have it explain to us what it does. Now, when you're using AI, any type of AI, you got to remember that it's all about how you ask the question. I mean, just think about people in general when you're dealing with people. There's a formula that I like to use when I'm dealing with people, and it's called E plus R equals O. That's a formula that I always like to work with when I'm dealing with people or writing emails or anything. It's about focusing on outcomes right here. So there's an event that took place, something that's happened, and you're thinking about the outcome. Hey, what's the outcome going to be? So an event has taken place. So then you begin to formulate your response based on the outcome that you desire. So that's where asking questions is so important. You're thinking about the outcome when you're asking the question. So you can think about, hey, I got to figure out this Excel formula. So then you figure out the question or your response, and then that'll determine the outcome. Yeah, I'm kind of, we're talking about Excel, and this mainly applies to communication with people. But focus on the outcome. Focus on the outcome. An event has occurred. Somebody got upset with you. Then you got to think about, wait, what do I want the outcome to be from this interaction? Once you determine the outcome, then you can formulate your approach. More on that at a later date. But let's get back on over here to the ExcelFormulaBot. And we're going to keep exploring it just a little bit more. So let's go right ahead and let's go over our 6-item list for the day that we do every single day. Remember, every day you got to have a 6-item list. Yes, got to show you. I got my plan right here. I got my plan. Okay, so you got your 5-year plan on your mind map, 5-year plan. Then you got your 1 year, and then from your 1 year, I pull out a whole month of work that. And today, there's just a 6-item list. That's it, right? 6 items that I work off every day, and the 6-item list that you and I talk about every single day is this one right here. The first thing is choose to be happy. The second thing on the 6-item list is make a plan. The 6-item list is a plan. E plus R equals O is a plan on how you're going to formulate the response to an event to determine an outcome that you desire. Number 3, don't get mad. Get skills, and that's what we're doing today. We are working on getting ourselves some skills, because getting mad is just a big waste of time, and we dumb ourselves down when we get mad. So don't get mad. Get skills, and do it now. Yes. That's right. Do it now. Don't wait. Do it now. You'll feel better about it. I mean, how many times have you keep putting something off, and then it's just not a good thing. So let's get right on back to the ExcelFormulaBot and continue on the process. So you get 5 generations a month for free. If you want to do more than that, then you got to subscribe. So we can scroll a little bit further down and we can see some of our past requests. So yesterday we started out with a simple formula. Right down here, check it out. It's the total of cell C3 and D3, and it gave us that output. Cool. And then it gave us this output right here for when I wanted to do different calculations, like this one, where we're calculating proprietary products times a percentage. And I didn't take into consideration the way that I've set up this spreadsheet. So the actual formula that we got was close, but not quite. And that's my fault. Then we've got, here's the other ones. Look at this one right here. Combine A2 through C2 and place a space between the values. And after we got this result, it turned out that I wanted to combine C2 through A2 so that it changed the order for us. Take a look at the spreadsheet right here. The result that it gave us is A2, and then it was C2 right here because of the way that I asked it, right? I said, combine A2 through C2. And that put it in this order right here. A2 through C2. But what I wanted is, I wanted it backwards. I wanted C2 first. So I should have asked instead, combine C2 through A2. And then it would have been in the right place. And look, I mean, it didn't do a nesting of a text join function inside the proper, but it did use these. I think that's called an ampersand. And that means hooked together. That's old school. So then we see that we don't have any more generations. So let's go ahead and click on subscribe. And here's the deals that ExcelFormulaBot has. Not bad. It's very affordable. Let's say you want to go ahead and get the yearly subscription. Right now, it's got a sale going. When you get, there's a 30% discount on everything right now. And when you click on yearly, remember to use the link in the description, my affiliate link. That way, when you sign up, I get a little percentage. And then here we go. You click on yearly, save yourself 30%. And save yourself even more, because look, now it's going to be, you pay for the year in advance. It comes out to $4.92 a month, and you're just going to pay $59 for the whole year. And look what you get. You get unlimited requests. For free, you get 5. When you join, you get unlimited requests. Then you can generate formulas, explain formulas, generate VBA, and receive instructions on Excel tasks. I write a lot of formulas. I teach how to write formulas. So I could say, hey, you know, I really don't need the AI formula bot, but I want to use it because I want my students to be able to have access to it. For example, when you go to don'tgetmadgetskills.com, or you go to my Excel Club, myexcel.club, you end up at my 7 Steps to Excel Success VIP membership, where you can join for just $7 a month, and you get access to pretty much all my content. Well, I also have workshops. You go to live workshops, and I've got these workshops. I also have a workshop that I need to schedule for the rest of the year, where I teach you how to write formulas, okay? And in that workshop, I'm going to be talking about the AI formula bot, because we have to understand some Excel basics before we can even use the AI. It's a tool to help us. I'm using it because I want to recommend it to my students, and I'm also going to use it as a way to explain formulas. I'm going to write a formula, and I'm going to put it into ExcelFormulaBot, and I'm going to see how it explains to me that. Because sometimes I feel like I need to find better ways of explaining formulas to my students. I mean, I do a pretty good job already, but still, we can always keep getting better. I'm positive about that. And look at this, generating VBA. That's another reason where I'm kind of interested in that. And then once you tell Excel what you want to do, it's going to generate the VBA code. And you know what VBA is? Virtual Basic for Applications. And you know what that language is used for? Macros. So you can automate a lot of things. So instead of trying to figure out the macro, you know, click, record. It's usually better when you can write the VBA code. Well, here, this will generate the VBA code. I haven't tried it out yet. I haven't tried anything out. I'm trying everything with you. And we're not going to do this today, but probably do it tomorrow, where I'm going to install the add-on. You can do it on Google Sheets and you can do it on Excel, which means the ExcelFormulaBot is going to be in Excel itself, and you don't have to go to the website. So let's go ahead and click on Get Started with the premium. I'm going to go with the monthly. I'm just going to check it out for 30 more days, see how it goes, and then I'll probably just do the whole year. So when you are right over here at the checkout for ExcelFormulaBot, go to add promo code and put in the promo code Mr. Aloha. We live in Aloha. And then go ahead and apply. And there you go. You're saving yourself an additional 10% on whatever the discount is that they're having at the time. Use the promo code Mr. Aloha and get an additional 10%. So if this was a yearly subscription, $60, you're going to get $6 off. All right. And then let me go off the screen here for a second while you enjoy some of the content that is available to you. So let me go ahead. I'm going to do a Google Pay. I like Google Pay. It's funny because it's connected to, well, anyways, it's all working pretty good. Go. Hello. Boom. I've been subscribed to the plan. All right. Okay. As a subscriber, you receive unlimited access to our add-ons. I'm not going to click install now. Well, I don't know. I'm tempted to click install now. I'm going to come back to it. This one is probably going to be something that I do offline. Have it all set up. Come right back in there and work on it. So let's do one more request now that we've got more generations to do. So we'll go to formulas and we're going to do an Excel request and we're going to have it generate a formula for it. And let's go and see what formula we want it to generate for it. We're going to do a SUMIFS. A SUMIFS, okay? Now, if you want to know what a SUMIFS is, there's a couple ways. You can go into the search bar and you could type SUMIFS. And then here you're going to start finding out. These are all the spreadsheets that I have related to SUMIFS. I have a course where I teach advanced formulas and functions. Then you've got the way the SUMIF works right here. You got to help where it'll explain to you. So you go to Microsoft Support. And also, if you're a member of the 7 Steps to Excel VIP membership, myexcel.club, you can just go into the community, which I'll show you in a moment, and ask me in there. Video for you, or you can schedule some one-on-one time for me. And here we go. This is an explanation of the SUMIFS function with even a little video to go on. So this search bar up here is underutilized. Anything you want to do, just go right up into the search bar. And then just, I was teaching one of my students this morning how to protect sheets. So I told me, just go right ahead and type protect sheets, and then you got additional information on protecting sheets, or just type in protect. Then you've got more. What we covered was allow edit ranges this morning. I'll do a live stream on that because that's actually pretty interesting to know. Well, now we're coming back. That was a learning opportunity. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take and we're going to do a SUMIFS, right? And by the way, one more time, you can always go into a formula that you see and then click right here. You see? You can move this around by the, whoops. What was that? you can move this. If this is ever in your way, you can move it around. Did you know that? And then whenever you see the name of the function, you can just click on the name of the function right there, and then it takes you to the help for that particular function. Another thing that you could do is when you're writing a formula, let's say equals SU. When you put in an equal sign, you start typing, Excel starts giving you all of the functions, in this case, that start with an SU. And then I go M, so it keeps narrowing it down. There's a SUMIFS. So I click on it, and it explains to me that it adds the cells specified by a given set of conditions or criteria. So here we're going to have some conditions. I want the total sales of all fish sandwich meals that took place at the North Valley location. So we've got multiple criteria here, right? You've got multiple locations, you've got multiple menu items, and you've got the sales. So we only want the sales that took place at the North Valley of fish sandwich meals. Because at the North Valley, they sell other items like hot dog meal. Okay, so we've got multiple criteria. So you could be typing in the name of a function, and then you select it, and you get a definition. You can also go right ahead and press Shift F3. Let's see, that would be, oops. Shift plus F3. And what Shift F3 does is it launches your insert function dialog box. And then right here, it'll explain to you what that function does. So I got SUMIFS, select it, I tab right into it, and then I press Shift F3. And then here, I can go right ahead and go into my function arguments. So I got to activate the formula first, then press Shift F3, then I'm in my formula builder. And then right here, it gives me a definition, and I can get help on this function. So just some quick tips for you, but that's not what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about the ExcelFormulaBot. We're going to ask the ExcelFormulaBot to do this for us, and then we're going to put in the formula and ask it to explain it to us. Let's kick back on over here to the ExcelFormulaBot. We're going to generate a request for Excel. Okay, not an explanation. And in this case, set it up so yeah. So I want all right. The total of all, and you got to put it in quotation marks so that it knows what we're looking for. I wonder if it's case sensitive. I don't know. We'll see. We'll put it on in lowercase case. Sand. Total of all fish sandwich meal of North Valley location. So let's say total sales of all fish sandwich meals in North Valley location. I think I need to tell it the columns too, but I don't know. Maybe I need to tell it the total sales of all fish sandwich in maybe North Valley location in A. Okay, that's going to be A1, the range is A1 to C34. Boom. A1 to C34. And A1 to C34. I'm going to take this part out right here for now. Because now I have a membership, I can do unlimited, generate unlimited requests. So now let's go right ahead and submit and see what it tells us. Total sales of all fish sandwich meal in North Valley location. This is the formula that it gives me. SUMIFS CCAA. Oh. That's interesting. Okay. So let's go back over here. It knows that text goes in quotation marks. EB. Fish sandwich meal. Copy the formula. Let's go right over here and let's paste it right in there. Fish sandwich meal. Shift F3. Sum range C. Criteria range A. Criteria 1, fish sandwich meal. Criteria range B. Maybe it's case sensitive. Let me edit this one, and I'll make this one lowercase. Doesn't matter, it still works in this formula. There's my formula there. Didn't work up there. So this formula is off. CC, sum range. Let's put that formula right down here and compare. So it didn't. I did a little bit different because I'm actually for my how I did it. My sum range is C2 to C34. That's the sales. Okay, that's the sales columns. Then my criteria range is A2 to A34. A, column A. Criteria 2 is whatever I put in E2. And B, criteria range for the next criteria, which is the menu item. And then I've got the criteria goes into F2. And then that's it. That's it. So here we got C. Criteria AA. The sum, we are summing. C. That's column C. Fish sandwich meal. Let's say it's whatever I put in there. And this one, it's I think I got the order of them wrong. So I think to make this work, this had to be North Valley. Go ahead and comment if you're seeing something that I don't see. Ooh, we're going to have to block those comments that just came up. You're on YouTube, you're going to see some funny comments. I guess I got to turn on the moderation somehow. But anyways, excuse me. So North Valley, and then this one right here is fish sandwich meal. There, press OK. There it is, just like that. See that? There's the answer. It worked out just fine for us. But the thing is that the way that I asked the question, total sales of all fish sandwich meal in the North Valley location. Total sales in total sales in North Valley location of fish sandwich meal. Total sales in North Valley location of this fish sandwich meal. See, it's all in how you write it. So let's go ahead and submit that. It's got a whoops. Did we get a new iteration? Copy, was I supposed to clear that? And let's go right back over here. Ah, there you go. Woo-hoo. You put in the right, ask the right question, you're going to get the right answer. You see that? You ask the right question. And you know, right over here, I figured it out, right? Because I know Excel already. And that's what's going to happen. I mean, even though you got AI that's going to tell you everything, you got to know how to ask the question. And you got to understand what's going on. You got to understand the topic, you know, before you can use AI. AI is a tool that's just going to help you perform better. Let's look at our iterations. So let's go back over here to our home, and then let's go right down here, and here we see the different ways where I asked it. First, I asked the total sales of all fish sandwich meal in the North Valley location, and then I got the answer somehow backwards. So then I asked the question again, total sales in North Valley location of fish sandwich meals, and then it returned that formula, which, if you notice, that formula is different than the original formula that I wrote. So let me go right over here and, you know, copy this formula right here. Let's move on over here. Let's paste the formula in here, and I'm going to add a little space right before the equal sign. Put a little space to push that back, and then now Excel doesn't think it's a formula. And so you see the difference. This is how I wrote it. And what that formula is doing right here where I wrote it, it's referencing the location. So when I change the location and the menu item, it changes the total, right? In this case, the way that it did it is it made it specific. It's only going to work for this. So if I need to change the criteria, I got to go into the formula and change the criteria. I think maybe I should have asked it to say total sales of item in cell E2. I don't know. That's why it takes practice. You got to take the basics of Excel. So you go right ahead and sign up for the VIP, become a VIP member right here. $7 a month. You get 3 free days. And then you can sign up for any of these classes right here. This My Excel Basics live class. It's a live class. Once you go in there, just check the schedule, see what days the live class is being offered. And I teach this class. When it starts, it's a 5-day class, hour and a half each session, Monday through Friday, and then you're done. And you get a good understanding of Excel, so that way you know how to use the formula bot. There's also AI already built into Excel. When you go to your home tab, you've got analyze data right here. And here's where you go ahead and ask it based on your data. So it's looking at my data that I have right here. And it's giving me recommendations. Right? And here it's generating pivot tables for me. It's generating charts for me based on this data. But it also goes into, okay, how am I going to ask the question right here? It's telling us questions that it recommends. You got to ask the right question. And this one, though, analyze data, it doesn't do formulas for you. It'll analyze your data and it'll make recommendations. And then you got to know what to do with this, right? So you look at this. If I say, hey, insert pivot table. Now you got a pivot table. Now what you going to do? You got to take my class. All the VIP members, Excel VIP members, they need some help. They can just go right ahead and take this pivot table, easy Excel pivot table class. Or once you're logged into the website, this is so easy. Once you're logged into the website, all you got to do is go to the community. Because once you're logged into the website, you got access to the community. Once you go to the community, right in here is where we can start sharing info right in here. This is our world only. And it's all set up just for us. And you can ask questions in there, and then we can set up an appointment one-on-one, and I'll help you just like I helped Susan today. So now let's go and ask Excel a question. Let's put in a formula and have it explain the formula to us. So let's try two different ones. Let's try this one. Try this formula. And then we'll try the one that I wrote and see what it explains to us. Let's get right in here. Go to formulas. It's an Excel formula. If it was Google Sheets, we'd put Google Sheets. Excel formula. And then let's say explain. I got to clear this up. Oh, it doesn't. This is the one that matters, the top one. Boom. So there you go. I put in the formula the way that they wrote it, the AI wrote it, and then we're going to try it the way that I wrote it. And then say submit. And let's see. There it is. All right, let's hide Billy for a second, and let's see what we got here. We got this formula right here means sum all values in column E, where the corresponding values in column D are fish sandwich meal, and the corresponding values in column C are North Valley. So that's one way to learn how to talk to it. Just put in the formula and have it translate back to us. So I guess if I would have typed that, it would have given me the right answer in the first place. But you saw how we fixed it, right? I mean, we asked the right way the second time around. Just had to switch the order. Kind of like what happened when I did this. It's the way I asked affected the order that the text join happened. Yes, angels. All right. So let's go back over here and let's try my formula. Okay. And this formula right here, which is the same one that I have right here, is set up so that let's put Shift F3 so that we can see the formula right here in function. Okay. And the way that I set it up right here, it is the sum range. I told it what the sum range is, C. Okay. Same thing as when the ExcelFormulaBot said C. That's column C. All of C. Because, what if I add more data? The formula keeps working. And then the criteria range was A2 to A34, because that's the location. The sum was the totals. The criteria first is the location. And criteria 1, boom, is E2 right here. And then criteria 2 is whatever I put in this cell. So the way that I set up this formula is that it's going to give me a result here based on what I enter in these two. Whereas where the formula that the AI formula bot gave us was specific to what we were looking at. Let's try this again here. I'm going to copy my formula. And let's see how it explains it to us. We'll go back over here. Boom, paste my formula. We're doing Excel, we're explaining, and let's submit. Drum roll, please. There it is. Okay, it says sum the values in range C2 through C34 where the corresponding values in range A34, A2 to A34 match the value in cell E2 and the corresponding values in the range B2 to B34 match the value in cell F2. Wrong button. I meant to say. That was cool. That's exactly what this formula does. So I could have just edited and said match the value in cell E2. Wow. Could have just redone that other formula. So we go back over here. Let's go back to home. And we could have just done this one. Basically just rewrite it. And instead of putting North Valley, you put match the value in cell E2 and the corresponding values. Match the value. That's the key word that we needed to use so that it gives us the formula that works right here. Yes. That's pretty awesome. ExcelFormulaBot. All right, yeah, I know some of y'all are going like, wow, Billy, that was a lot, man. Well, that's why you want to join my 7 steps to Excel success at P membership. Going over here to reviews and see what everybody's saying. I mean, there's more reviews coming. I just haven't transferred them on over. You'll see. Check it out for yourself. Keep on learning. And remember, my friends, remember your 6-item list. Remember to live aloha, stay positive, and most of all, I want you to know that I love you. I love you. And I want the best for you. Keep on learning. And most of all, don't get mad. Get skills. Aloha. Chee-hoo. You and